Bet365 is an A-rated book on SBR. Click on their logo to discover why.
Hi, I'm Natalie Rydstrom and welcome to Euro Football Weekly. The European leagues are sadly over for this season, but there is still money to be made, especially on the winners' market for next year. Joining us now is Richard O'Hagan, sports writer and regular contributor to SBR, to run down these odds from a betting perspective. Richard, thanks for joining us.
Hi Natalie, it's great to be back with you.
Now, looking straight to the winners' odds for La Liga, it appears this is a two-legged horse race between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Would you agree with that?
I think we have to assume that that's how it's going to be. Atletico Madrid had a fantastic season this year. They won the title, they won the Spanish Cup. You've got to say that they have been far and away sort of exceeded their own expectations for this. But what we can't say is that definitely brings an end to the duopoly that Barca and Real have had. Last time, back in 2004, Valencia won the title. Valencia finished 8th this year, way behind the pack. So from that point of view, you've got to really look to Barca or Real to win this title. Real are actually very unattractively priced there. That's really based on the fact that they've got a decent team, they've got a lot of stars in there, but there's a big question over, one, whether they can hang on to all those stars over the course of the summer, and two, they had problems this year with key players breaking down at key moments. So actually, I think Barca are the better value bet in that market.
Okay, but would you say Atletico should still be considered as a contender for the title next year? They're priced at 9.
I would give them some consideration. Might be worth having a small bet on them now, because if they start as strongly next season as they did previously in this season, then yes, worth going for that. Don't put too much money on it though, because there were signs towards the end of the season that they were not performing the way that you would expect a long-term champion to. They dropped points against teams like Levante and Malaga, which you wouldn't do if you were a really serious contender along the likes of Real and Barca for a long-term domination of that league. So a little bit handled with care there, but maybe worth a small amount of money just to be on the safe side.
Okay, well, right now Real Madrid, they are the slight favourites. They're priced at 2. Barcelona priced at 2.38. Priced at 2.38, are you going to make the bet on Barcelona now? And how do you see the odds moving?
I would put the money on Barca now, because I think that those odds are going to shorten as the season gets closer. It's difficult because you are in a 2 or 3 horse race here, and you're not going to get brilliant odds on the front runners. But I think Barca, with a new manager, and I think those odds have already factored in the likely transfer ban that they're going to get once the International Court for Arbitration in Sports makes its decision some point in the middle of the summer on that. I think the odds have already taken that into account, so I don't think they're necessarily going to get longer.
Right. Well, after the top 3, we do have a massive drop to Athletic Bilbao and Real Sociedad at 251. Does that suggest that there's no chance for these teams winning the title, and therefore not even laying a couple of quid on, not even worth it?
It really does. If you were backing those teams to be in contention for a Champions League spot or a UEFA Cup spot, then yes, by all means, they are good value for money. They're good, solid, upper mid-table teams, but they don't have the resources and they don't have the player personnel to challenge those big 3 at the moment. So I would not be putting any money on them at all to win.
Okay, and what would you say the best way is to play the La Liga's future market?
I think it's difficult, but I think the best time to bet on that market in terms of the favourites is definitely now, because for one thing, the market hasn't got that much liquidity in it, so the odds are fairly stable. But I think once the money starts coming in, those odds are going to shorten. They're not going to lengthen, unless maybe perhaps on Atletico, but I think there's going to be quite a few Atletico fans out there after this year, no matter what I say.
All right, so you're going for a Barca win there, 2.38, and now is the time to bet. Richard O'Hagan, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome, Natalie.